was held for ransom with my project. They wanted me to pay them $1 million because they had all my records, all the features. Some hackers. They have been hacking and leaking like crazy. Like at least my last 2-3 albums, I don't know how they do it.
Now, this to me shows like what leakers are truly causing within the music industry. Like, if an artist is having to deal with hackers, let's say Trippie Redd, for example, which I actually remember, and he talks about it later in that interview, whenever they leaked Pegasus, which was an album he worked on for a long time and was teasing heavily, but they ended up leaking the entire album like 2 months before it dropped. Now, this is not like a rare thing. Music has always got leaked by many different artists. No artist can truly avoid it. And like if you get a song leaked, it honestly is like kind of a symbol of how big you are. Because if you have a song leaked, that means you have enough people that care, that want to listen to your music, that are willing to leak it. Now, this has reached a point. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I mean, it shows like how high you are, but it's also not a good thing to have happening to you. Because if you look at artists like Trippie Redd, hackers who leak your last albums can hold you, like they did for Trippie Redd, hold him for ransom and saying they're going to drop it if you don't. Which ruins, like, what could be, well, I'm sure it wasn't for Trippie Redd. That was probably like a year's worth of work. But for certain artists, that could be years of working and perfecting a song just for it to get leaked on the internet and then see no reward for it. Now, some artists, like Sofego did it recently, have done this thing where they drop leaked songs just to do it, just to help promote artists, or not artists, but help promote their music, I should say. Now, I'm not saying that's really a good strategy. I don't really see the point in it. I mean, if you really want your song out that bad, then I guess it's a good thing to do, but I just don't see the point. Now, this, like I said, this isn't a rare thing, but it's recently been spiking up. It's like I said for Trippie Redd, which the album isn't necessarily a good album. In my opinion, I liked a few songs, but there's just some problems with mainstream music that I really don't like. That is what led to multiple songs having bad mixing, especially on that Travis Scott song Crazy Train, where Trippie didn't have he didn't have something, I don't know exactly what it's called, that helped him mix it. He just had the vocals that Travis sent. So he had to put them together with the bad song just to get the album out in time. That way leakers didn't leak it. Now, if the leakers didn't leak it, or didn't hold him up for ransom, he probably could have took his time, perfected all the songs, maybe cut that track list in half, make some of those songs solo songs and not have to put features on them that don't fit the song. He could have made it a much more coherent project that sounded a lot better. Now, like I said, not a common thing, not a rare thing, I should say. This happens to other artists too. One of which being Lil Uzi Vert. Now, I remember whenever that viral video went around of a Lil Uzi Vert, I don't know if he was his producer or if he was just a friend and on his team, was actually leaking music from the inside. Now, Lil Uzi Vert is one of the few artists that I don't understand, or I don't know how in the world they don't struggle to make music, because that is how much of their music gets leaked. I follow an Instagram account that will actually update me on leaked songs, not because I listen to them, because I'm kind of curious to see maybe what they sound like, because you can get maybe a feel of what the type of music that an artist is working on from leaks. Again, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying that you can. That's one thing you can get from it. Now, like I said, this happens a lot with Lil Uzi. This is a very common Lil Uzi Vert problem. I think multiple Lil Uzi Vert, I didn't mean to say that. I think multiple Eternal Atake songs have been leaked before the album actually produced, came out. But I was in 8th grade when that happened, so I really don't remember. Now, this actually led to one thing that he did. He released an entire EP of just leaked songs. Now, I feel like if an artist is having to do that, which, I mean, it's good on Uzi because they were all songs that were finished and leaked. He just didn't release them because they were leaked. Now, think about that, though. That is something leakers don't necessarily know that they're doing, and what certain people don't understand. You'll see people after a song is leaked be like, oh, the person should definitely drop this immediately. Now, if there's a big enough outcry, like for example, Niagara Falls on the new Metro Boomin album was a leaked Travis Scott and 21 Savage song before it came out. And Metro ended up adding it, changed a little bit of it. I think he changed like the order of the verses than the leaked version and then released it. Now, this isn't like a big deal because that song was leaked forever ago, so the hype kind of died down and it gave more hype because, oh, he's finally releasing this song. However, certain people like Lil Uzi that have so many leaked songs, he probably doesn't think he can drop them because he's not going to get as much streams from them because a lot of people have already heard it. Some people don't understand that. And some leaking has like ended up being that they literally take the file. So Lil Uzi actually can't like finish the song. He'd have to completely remake it. And why would he go through all that effort when people have already heard the song? Now, another artist that I don't understand how he doesn't struggle to release music is Playboi Carti. Now, Playboi Carti is a little bit different because, in my opinion, I think because his fan base is so cultish, he doesn't necessarily have to worry about if it gets leaked, then he shouldn't drop it. Now, this could be why he had such a drastic change in styles of the music that he makes. But that's not necessarily like a confirmed or deconfirmed thing. I don't really know if that's true or if that would be true or if he even cares enough that he would do something like that. Now, I know there has been songs in the past that that he's dropped over like a leaker, saying it was a leaker. He had a song with Young Nudy, I don't remember the name of it, something Pamper, I think, that was produced by Pierre Bourne that they couldn't get cleared, so they dropped it on SoundCloud under like not under his official thing, but it was a leaker. They like claimed it got leaked. But everyone knew that was false, obviously. Now, I've seen all the time tons upon tons of Playboi Carti of songs that have got leaked. This is what happened with him and Lil Uzi Vert's collab tape 1629. That entire tape got leaked, or at least a whole bunch of it. Now, in my opinion, the tape probably would have been released by now if the leaking did not take place. If the leaking didn't happen, they probably would have dropped it because no one had heard it. But now that everyone has heard it, what in the world is the point of releasing it? Now, are they maybe working on a new version? Probably. But that is also what happened to Whole Lotta Red. Whole Lotta Red was getting leaked constantly. He kept on having to redo it. There is a whole entire version 1 of the album that most of it got leaked while he was doing it. And that is what led to the drastic change. Volume 1 is his normal, like, die-lit style, I guess I could call it. And the second one is his Whole Lotta Red, which is the one that we heard now. Now, don't get me wrong. His songs still leak. Just now, his newer style ones don't leak per se. Or at least most of them haven't. Now, like I said, this isn't as big of a problem for Playboi Carti because he probably doesn't care and he'll drop it anyway because he knows his fans will still listen to an already leaked song. Lil Uzi Vert's fans, though, you can't say the same thing. Now, here's another example. Now, in this picture, I have a couple other pictures, but in this picture, you can see a whole lot of Young Thug songs, a couple Playboi Carti ones, a couple A$AP Rocky ones. Now, that Playboi Carti song, he actually dropped himself. Some Gunna songs. Gunna also suffers from a lot of leaking. Surprisingly, like as of recently, he's suffered from a lot of it. There are a couple 21 Savage ones, couple Future ones, and a few miscellaneous ones. But like I said, that happens to everybody. That's not necessarily a new thing. If like every artist is gonna have a couple leaked songs. 41 Saw Baby ones. But look at how many Young Nudy ones that is. That is 172 Young Nudy songs. That is a whole lot. That is big. That's a big number compared to most artists who have leaked songs. But there's another artist that is quite famous, the maker of Thriller himself, Michael Jackson, who had 50 gigabytes of songs leaked. Now, those are big. Leakers are starting to get bigger and badder with it. Now, hopefully, that is just as of recently. It's convenient timing that these two happen not far apart from each other. Hopefully, leakers don't start just leaking mass amounts, because imagine you've let's say 172 songs. Let's say you make 3 or 4 songs a night. That's a lot of nights, right? That's like a month or 2 of music. Imagine losing that. How many of those songs were going to be on albums? How many of those songs were collabs that we won't get to hear now? Think about that, like, whenever you might, like, if you're a leaker and you watch this, think about that, you know? Now, this is an image of leaked Juice WRLD songs. I haven't counted them. You can count them if you want to. But whenever I was looking, like, pictures of this, I've seen bigger lists. And I've seen bigger lists with different names than this one. Now, this isn't a fake picture, because whenever I was, like, looking through them, there are a lot of correlating names. Like, I think Biddy was the name of one of them, if I looked in there. Now, that was on, like, multiple different lists of leaked Juice WRLD songs. There was one with Roddy Ricch. There's one with Roddy Ricch called Soda Pop. There was another one with Roddy Ricch, I think. There was one with Travis Scott. Now, I think there might have been one with Polo G and Lil TJ, but I don't know. Now, this man is deceased, which is probably what makes it so easy to leak his music, because he's not, like, actively defending it, which is really messed up if you think about it. But they are trying to release a Juice WRLD album called The Party Never Ends. Lil Bibby is trying to drop it. However, this leaking probably makes it hard, because Juice WRLD is not actively making new music. Juice WRLD is deceased. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Long live. But he's not actively making new music, which means they don't have as many options to work with, because so many are getting leaked. Now, this has also led to them taking leaked songs like Feline, I think is the name of it, which was supposed to have Lil Yachty on it. Which I don't know why they aren't dropping him and Lil Yachty songs, but that's a different conversation for another day. Feline had dropped on SoundCloud from a leaker, right? I've listened to it. It's a good song. They took that, and probably because it was leaked, switched out verses and gave new parts to Polo G, and I'm pretty sure the other artist is Trippie Redd. Now, in my opinion, this led to not as good of a song, but that is what they're doing. They are taking these original songs that you might find pretty dang good, and they are changing it because they are leaked to what you might not find as good of a song. But like I said, Juice WRLD has this happen a lot, probably because he's not actively defending the music, and he's not here to make more, so there is a lot more to leak and a lot less options for them to pick whenever they're dropping his songs. This is what leaking is doing. Leaking is ruining music, in my opinion, for certain artists, because so many of their songs are getting leaked that they're struggling to release music. This is probably why the Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert hasn't dropped. This might be why Playboi Carti hasn't dropped a new album, because he's afraid of it getting leaked, which it probably would, knowing his fan base. Poor Trippie Redd has to deal with every time he even thinks about dropping an album, they already have the songs he wanted to put on it, before they're even made, probably. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Like I said, I think leaking is ruining music, and going as, like, if you go off of these massive leaks that have happened, of a 50 gigabyte, like 50 gigabytes of Michael Jackson songs, and 172 Young Nudy songs, and the freaking plethora of Lil Uzi and Playboi Carti songs that get leaked. They might get bigger, and it might get to a point where rappers their songs get leaked as soon as they get made. Let's hope it never gets to a point like that, but it's possible. I'm Fatal K, and remember what I just told you.